YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with yet another Washington football team video, and I'm here with Washington football team's post-game reaction to Washington taking the victory over the Cincinnati Bengals in week 2 of the NFL preseason. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, how Washington football team. I want to thank everybody for coming through the stream. You know how we get down on the stream. We're doing those every single week, even in the regular season like we did last year. So make sure you guys come through if you didn't today. And let's get straight into today's video. So, man, today was a good game. The defense performed how the defense should perform. The first team defense, Chase Young looking good, Deron Payne looking good, Jonathan Allen looking good, Montez Sweat looking good. Torrey McTyer got some reps with the ones due to William Jackson and Kendall Fuller being out, and he looked really good. He's a guy that has been having a strong preseason and training camp, and I would not be surprised if he makes the practice squad or even makes the back end of this roster over a guy like Troy Apke at cornerback. You look at Benjamin St. Juste on the other side. He got some work today. He looked really good too. Had a couple PBUs and had some help with the opposing quarterback overthrowing a couple guys, but he looked good too. Jamin Davis, a lot of people that were overreacting to his week 1 performance, saying, "Oh, he's a bust. He's not good." Well, he shut you up real quick because he had a couple great plays. Had a couple plays where he blew up the run and he made a solid tackle. So Jamin Davis looked as advertised. Let's see who else looked good. Landon Collins looked good. He made a great tackle. Shout out to my man Taylor. I know that's his boy, and he thinks I hate him, but I don't hate him. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see more out of him, because he's worth that big contract. But Landon Collins looked good. Everybody on the defensive side of the ball really looked good. What is his name? Daniel Wise had a fumble recovery that led to Jarret Patterson later scoring a touchdown. We'll get later into that in the video. Daniel Wise was really good for us in the back stretch of the second half, like in the fourth quarter or late third. He looked really good. But like I said, overall, the defense looked good as a whole. Jimmy Moreland had a pass breakup. Defense just looked advertised. The real thing I want to talk about is the offense. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he didn't look the best today. You know what I'm saying? He didn't look how he looked last week versus the New England Patriots, where he came out slinging it. He had a great reception to Logan Thomas. He had a couple great connections with Terry McLaurin, but he also overthrew Terry McLaurin. He overthrew Logan Thomas and Adam Humphries in the same drive for which would have been a touchdown on both of those plays. So Ryan Fitzpatrick did not look his sharpest. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we signed up for when we signed him. We know we're going to get games where Ryan Fitzpatrick is looking sharp. We're going to get games where he's not looking his best. Today was one of those games where he wasn't looking his best. Now, he wasn't terrible, but he had a couple plays where he would want to have those plays back because he knew he just put a little too much on it here and there. Also, Taylor Heineke, he clearly looked like the better quarterback today, like without any question, without any competition. Today, specifically just today, by the way, he looked like the better quarterback. He got Antonio Gandy-Golden involved. Antonio Gandy-Golden had a couple great receptions, and he had a 2-point conversion where he literally just little boyed the corner, and that got me excited because that's what we were expecting out of Antonio Gandy-Golden when we drafted him, is to be that big physical target for the quarterback, and he's shown that in this week. The referees didn't rob him of the 2-point conversion. This week, he made sure he caught the ball, and he got it in for the 2-point conversion. Now, let me talk about Taylor Heineke because he did look good, but he did have a play where he scrambled, and he had the first down, but the ball slipped out of his hands, but luckily, we recovered. Cam Sims had a play where he fumbled on the ball, and the Cincinnati Bengals recovered. So if Cam Sims is trying to make this roster, I know a lot of people feel like he's a lock, but if he's trying to make this roster and get more playing time, if he is considered a lock, he got to hold on to the ball. Steven Sims is another guy that I wasn't really frustrated with, but I would love to see him have made the catch. He had a catch over the middle, a great ball by Kyle Allen, perfect placement. Steve Sims just dropped. I thought maybe, the hit maybe dislodged the ball, but he caught the ball, or he had a chance to catch the ball and prepare for the hit, but I think he was worried about getting hit and he got scared, so he dropped the ball. So Steven Sims didn't look that good. DeAndre Carter, I believe he dropped the pass too, but he did look good in the punt return and kick return game. So did Steven Sims. I know Steven Sims, I'm trying to think if Steven Sims I think he had one where he brought it up to the 21-yard line, which isn't that good, but considering the fact that Steven Sims is trying to do whatever he can to make this roster, anything that he does that is positive is good. Then you look at Jarret Patterson, man. Oh man, the star of the show, Jarret Patterson, man. He finished the game. I want to say he had 135 all-purpose yards. The man was just running the ball every down. It was seeming like it was positive plays. He had a couple runs where he bursted right up the middle for a first down, and I love Terry McLaurin, but Jarret Patterson is slowly becoming my favorite player. I've been on the Jarret Patterson bandwagon when we first signed him. Go back to my video. I'll put it in the community tab of where I said this is maybe Washington's most underrated player, and it was Jarret Patterson, and he's quickly living up to that. He has great catches out the backfield, and then not to mention he got some work at kick returner, and he had a nice kick return too. So Jarret Patterson is going to make this roster. If it wasn't already clear last week, he's going to make this roster. A lot of people are saying he is going to run not JD McKissic, but run Peyton Barber out of town. I could very well see that. I could also see a scenario where they keep 4, but Jarret Patterson, he provides much more, something that that Peyton Barber doesn't. Peyton Barber is just a strictly bulldozer on short yardage downs. He can't split out wide. He can't return kicks. He can't really be effective in the passing game like a Jarret Patterson. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was the game where they solidified Jarret Patterson making it over Peyton Barber. He had a touchdown where he ran it in and they scored. So Jarret Patterson was clearly the player of the game, and a phenomenal game by JP, man. Like I tell y'all each and every week, he's from my hometown, man, so I'm going to root for him 100 times harder than anybody else, just like Chase Young and anybody else that make it out of here, man, because Jarret Patterson is just a special guy, man, and I cannot wait to see what he does if he in fact make this roster. He's going to make this roster in my opinion, but I still got to speak from if, because nothing is set in tone. When you look at some more notes, you have the Cincinnati Bengals receiver fumbling on the goal line, but then Washington recovers it by David Mayo, but then Derek Forrest comes in and hits him on a helmet, so it was a helmet-to-helmet hit. So then a whole lot of things that went on in that play. The fumble got obviously went away because it was a helmet-to-helmet hit, so they got the automatic first down. So Derek Forrest, you need to control yourself, man, and and I know you can't really I can say you could control yourself, but if you're trying to make a play, you know what I'm saying? Your instincts are going to take over. So I don't think he meant to do it by any means. But if you want to make this roster and get more playing time at safety, got to control yourself, man, because it's a possession that we should have had that you wasted off of a penalty like that. Then you move on down on some more notes that I wrote. Deverell Lawrence with a strip sack recovered by Daniel Wise, which later led to Jarret Patterson's touchdown run. Then on that same drive on the 2-point conversion, Kyle Allen with a beautiful ball to AGG for the 2-point conversion. So it was just overall a good day by the defense. The backups looked really good. Taylor Heinicke looked better than Ryan Fitzpatrick today. Not to mention Taylor Heinicke started off with 9 for 9. John Bates is another guy that interests me. He had a good block where he kind of sealed off the edge rusher and allowed Jarret Patterson to squeeze right between them to go for a nice game. So John Bates looked really solid. Ricky Seals-Jones made a nice catch. So everybody really chipped in. You know what I'm saying? The only guy that I not really was frustrated with, but the only guy that I would like to see more out of is Steven Sims. This is the last preseason game, and the starters aren't really going to play that much this third preseason game versus the Baltimore Ravens. So if you want to make this roster, this is the game where you have to perform. But other than that, other than Jarret Patterson being the star of the show and being really, really good, and I'm so excited, that's pretty much it. Washington gets the victory, 17-13. And let me know what you guys think about this game, and put your post-game reactions down below in the chat. It's me, boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hail to the Washington football team. We're on the road to 4,000 subscribers. Get me there because you know it's content going on all season long. It's me, boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hail to the Washington football team. I'm out. Peace.
Whole gang eat by the feast. Not better little bitch, don't get white. Walk with me, that's for life. Put that bitch on the plane, she say she scared of height. Drop a deuce in my cup, now I'm feeling just right. Get off the drink, I might hurt some my feelings tonight. Ain't no limit, we don't see no ceiling. I'ma get in her guts, I'ma make sure she feel it. The hand that feed you, that's the one that you never should bite. Think she tryna ride like the fact my Vegas on sight.